implementation of NBOS has enabled government to optimize spending. School bullies to be sent for military and police training. Thanks for choosing TV2. You're with me, Renee Fong, on the evening edition of News on 2. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak told the Dewan Rakyat today that the National Blue Ocean Strategy NBOS has helped in effectively implementing national policies, citing the Urban Transformation Centre UTC as the best example. The Premier also said that NBOS initiatives have allowed the government to optimise its expenditure for the benefit of the people.
Contohnya, pada masa ini terdapat 20 UTC di seluruh negara dengan penjimatan pembangunan sebanyak 2 bilion ringgit. Memandangkan UTC dilaksanakan dengan mengubah suai bangunan sedia ada serta tempoh pelaksanaan yang pantas purata selama 10 minggu. Sambutan dan permintaan rakyat terhadap perkhidmatan UTC amat menggalakkan, di mana sejak tahun 2013 UTC telah memberi perkhidmatan pada lebih daripada 54 juta orang pengunjung.
Datuk Sri Najib also noted that the NBOS is an important catalyst for the long-term goal of the 2050 National Transformation TN50, which could make Malaysia one of the top 20 nations in the world. This initiative also illustrates creativity and innovation is a culture that needs to be applied in every level of society to realize the aspirations of the state. The Education Ministry has decided that students found to be involved in bullying cases will be sent to the armed forces or the police for training in a move to address bullying issues in schools. Speaking in Parliament today, Deputy Education Minister Datuk Chong Sin Woon said those who are prone to disciplinary issues would also be sent for similar training.
Murid yang terlibat dalam salah laku disiplin akan diberikan latihan berbentuk teori dan fizikal secara berterusan untuk mengemblengkan kepakaran dan kemahiran tenaga anggota tentera dan polis dalam pelaksanaan aktiviti.
He spoke in response to Parid MP Datuk Muhammad Zaim Abu Hassan's inquiry on the ministry's plan via the NBOS to tackle physical and psychological bullying in schools. The move was decided after 402 schools in the country have been identified as having disciplinary problems as well as drug and criminal abuse. The Perak State Assembly sitting today erupted when Pasir Pinji Assemblyman Howard Lee was ejected from the Assembly for failure to follow Speaker Dato' S. Tanggeswari's orders. He was suspended according to Standing Order 44 subsection 2 of the Perak State Assembly Standing Orders. The ruckus occurred when Lee wanted to table a motion to have Slim Assemblyman Datuk Muhammad Kusairi Abdul Talib referred to the Rights and Privileges Committee. This was allegedly because Datuk Muhammad Kusairi had used profane language on him in the State Assembly sitting last Friday. Datuk Tanggeswari did not allow Lee's motion to be tabled as she wanted to refer to the Assembly's Hansard first. Following that, assemblymen from both sides of the political divide engaged in a shouting match when Lee was interrupted. She continuously asked Lee to sit down during the shouting match, while Lee still tried to table his motion. Datuk Tanggeswari then announced that Lee was to be rejected from the sitting and have his duties as assemblyman suspended until the sitting is over. Lee was escorted out of the House at about 11:35 a.m. 9 Indonesian crew members, including the captain, cheated death when the cargo ship they boarded almost capsized after being hit by a slew of huge waves yesterday. The incident occurred at 22.5 nautical miles from the coast of Kuala Terengganu near the Kuala Merchang beach. In the 7:45 a.m. incident, the wooden ship carrying a load of about 400,000 coconuts was said to have leaked in the engine room before it began to sink slowly. According to Kemaman Maritime Base Director, Lieutenant Commander Maritime Muhammad Rizal Kamal Basha, an oil platform security ship Grade 1 Manjong, which happened to be 7 nautical miles from the scene, received a distress signal from the vessel involved and responded immediately. All crew members, including the captain, aged 22 to 43, were rescued around 8:30 a.m. and no injuries were reported.
Kapal Grade 1 Manjung 1 telah menyelamatkan 9 lelaki warga Indonesia yang mengalami kebocoran di bilik jentera utama. Seterusnya dibawa ke Kemaman Supply Base untuk diserahkan kepada pihak berkuasa tempatan.
Lieutenant Commander Muhammad Rizal said that the incident is the 7th relating to the capsizing of a cargo ship recorded in the waters off the east coast. Nurliza Abdullah, one of 2 government doctors who conducted the autopsy on King Jongnam's body, told the court today that the victim's pupils contracted and his underwear was soiled with feces, both signs of poisoning. In the trial of Siti Aisyah of Indonesia and Don T. Huang of Vietnam, suspects in the murder case of Kim Jongnam, the estranged half-brother of North Korea's leader, Nurliza told the court that the pupil construction and the large amount of increment found in Kim's underwear both pointed to poisoning. Nurliza, however, agreed with the defense assertion that the post-mortem alone wasn't able to confirm VX as the cause of death, and that the autopsy conclusion was based on tests by the chemical department that found traces of the nerve agent on Kim's face and body. Hisham Te Pok Tik, Huang's defense lawyer, questioned Nurliza's ability to identify the nerve agent, saying she had confirmed she would not know if liquid as VX is given to her.
Nothing very much, nothing very of significance, except Dr. Nurliza also said she read her knowledge on VX is based on what she read. Yeah. She has not seen VX in liquid form, not analyzed VX in liquid form, and she would not know if liquid is VX given to her. That's right.
Monday's court session was cut short because the next prosecution witness wasn't ready. The trial will resume tomorrow. The body of a woman believed to have jumped off Jambatan Bindu in Batu Pahat, Johor last Saturday has been found. The body of the 62-year-old was found caught in a mangrove tree at around 5:50 p.m. yesterday, about 5 kilometers from the location where she had jumped. According to Pengaram Fire and Rescue Department Commander Officer Saiful Idris, a search and rescue mission was launched as soon as the emergency call was received at around 7:10 p.m. on Saturday. The search team consisted of fire personnel, which included 12 divers, a fire truck and 2 boats. 5 members of the Civil Defence Department and 3 policemen also assisted in the search. The search ended at around 7:10 p.m. yesterday and the body was handed over to the police for further action. Meanwhile, the body of a 6-year-old boy who went missing after falling from a bridge into a river at Kampung Peria Baru in Kuala Krai, Kelantan yesterday was recovered this morning. The body of Ahmad Fawaz Atikula was found by a search and rescue team about 10:30 a.m. Kuala Krai Fire and Rescue Chief Muhammad Hanif Sheikh Khalid confirmed the discovery when contacted. One of Ahmad Fawaz's relatives said the boy was found several meters from where he went missing at 3:45 p.m. yesterday. The body was sent to the Kuala Krai Hospital for post-mortem examination. Ahmad Fawaz was playing on the bridge with his 10-year-old friend Rizal Haikal Rizwan when he fell into the river. A 64-year-old man was killed along Jalan Persisir Pantai near the Mandau Longhouse in Batu Niah, Miri, Sarawak. According to Miri Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Stanley Jonathan Ringgit, said the victim, known as Lamit Jelian from Rumah Kinseng in Jalan Bukut Balingian, was driving alone when he lost control of his car, which skidded and veered to the left lane before landing in a ditch. The victim was taken to Clinic Batu Niah, where he was pronounced dead by the staff on duty. The victim's family confirmed that he had a history of heart disease and was suspected to have suffered an attack which caused him to lose control of the car. The case is being investigated under Section 42, Subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987. Sarawak police have successfully arrested 80 individuals in Sarawak last week for involvement in gambling activities. State CID Chief SAC Dev Kumar, in confirming the arrests, said it was done following a week-long operation consisting of 51 raids statewide. The raids were conducted at various convenience stores and restaurants that were being used as gambling spots. Police also seized a total of 20,502 ringgit of betting money, as well as gambling apparatus such as mobile phones, printers and gambling slips. All those detained were between 16 and 65, with 14 of them foreigners. They are being investigated under the Common Gaming Houses Act 1953. 15 offshore banks under IRB audit. This and more coming up. Welcome back. The preparation and submission process of the Kedah government's financial statement for 2016 has been a positive one, while the preparation and submission of the statement among the state agencies was found to be satisfactory. According to the Auditor General's Report 2016 Series 2, which was released today, the state's financial position for the year ended December 31st, 2016 showed an improvement as compared to year 2015. In addition, the financial performance of the state's statutory bodies and local authorities, however, is at a less satisfactory level than back in 2015. Meanwhile, the performance of projects implemented under the 11th Malaysia Plan ending 2016 was excellent, as 90.7% of the projects were completed. The report also provided several recommendations to the state government to further improve its financial performance, including increasing its revenue from various sources, practicing prudent spending, reducing revenue areas and repaying loans as well as debts on time. The recently concluded Progressive Johor Expo 2017 held in Dataran Mahkota Kota Iskandar exhibited the progress of Johor community engagement, projects and initiatives that were run by government agencies and private bodies throughout the years. Menteri Besar Datuk Muhammad Khalid Nordin said the expo also showcased the government's commitment in promoting the state government's concept of openness to the people. Speaking today, he said over 100 exhibitors from public and private sectors and representatives from 16 local authorities and government-linked companies took part in the 9-day expo, which saw heavy footfall from the public. The expo was officially launched by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, who commented that Johor has the potential of becoming Malaysia's new economic powerhouse in the future with its rapid development of the oil and gas industry, upcoming high-speed rail and rapid transit system amid other economic growth. The implementation of the Johor Blueprint and Roadmap of Biodegradation and Biocompost BBJ will allow local authorities to make the ban on using plastic and polystyrene as a requirement for traders who wish to apply or renew their licenses. Johor Expo Dato' Ayub Rahmat said this move will begin next year once the BBJ is fully enforced in the state. The state government will educate industry players on the initiative rules and policy to ensure that they do not violate any of it.
Telah pun mendapat nasihat daripada Tuan Haji He tadi bahawa bermula daripada 1 Januari juga bahawa setiap lesen daripada setiap PBT yang nak diperbarui akan dimasukkan di situ dari segi syarat lesen dari segi pengharaman penggunaan plastik konvensional dan juga polystyrene.
He was met after the closing of a BBJ briefing in Johor Bahru, which was organised by the Johor Biotechnology and Biodiversity Corporation. The briefing was conducted to provide details on the legal aspects and enforcement of the initiative. The Inland Revenue Board, IRB, is in the midst of auditing 15 offshore banks in Labuan in an effort to collect hundreds of millions of ringgits worth of unpaid taxes. IRB Deputy Chief Executive Officer Compliance Abdul Manaf Dim said the auditing processes of the banks nationwide were among the big cases the board is hoping to solve soon.
Kita sedang menyemak, mendapatkan maklumat Tapi maklumat awal kita dah perolehi. Itu yang kita pursue the issue. Kedua-dua. Yang tempatan pun ada, luar negara pun ada.
The investigations are being conducted by the IRB's Financial Action Unit under Section 81 of the Income Tax Act 1967. Abdul Manaf said the IRB is handling many siphoning cases totaling 442 million ringgit and is prosecuting cases amounting to 134 million ringgit. He was speaking to reporters after attending the launch ceremony of the 2017 Op Mega at IRB's headquarters in Cyberjaya today. Op Mega, running from November 20th to December 1st, is another operation conducted by the board to ensure that voluntary compliance of tax and national revenue continues to be prioritized. Meanwhile, at the same event, Abdul Manap Dim said to date the board has managed to collect a total of 109 billion ringgit in taxes and is confident that they will achieve the target 127 billion ringgit by year end.
InsyaAllah kita ada ruang. Dengan syarat kita sama-sama bekerja lah. Ya, ada sebulan lagi. Sebab trend tu berbeza. Pembayaran cukai ni trend berbeza. Dia tak adalah sama. Kalau hujung tahun tu adalah trend dia. Dan kita pun mempunyai beberapa kes besar yang kita akan selesaikan.
He said the board is now also implementing various strategies and promotions to meet its 2018 target of 134.7 billion ringgit, which was set by the government. He added that this is achievable despite Budget 2018 reducing the individual tax involving 261,000 payers estimated at 1.3 billion ringgit. Coming up after the break, Bali Airport. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, school bullies to be sent for military and police training. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more updates. Till then, I'm Renee Fong. Have a pleasant evening.